Fruit leather is my favorite way to preserve fleshy fruits that I've foraged. It's pretty easy, it doesn't require any canning or refrigeration. And best of all, it's really good. So let me show you how to make it. Recently gathered about 20 pounds of Chickasaw plums. Probably takes about an hour to gather 5 pounds of them. Let me show you how you preserve them. We'll make jam and fruit leather. There's actually some historical basis for various native tribes making a kind of a fruit leather by drying the fruit pulp, including of wild plums. Unlike agaritas and some other wild fruits, you gotta remove the stones and seeds of these wild plums, and it's a bit of a hassle because they're what's called clingstone plums. So the stones are attached well to the pulp and fibers, unlike commercial plums or peaches where you can cleanly remove the stone. These are kind of attached, but you can boil them whole and separate the stones out after that process, or cut them out first, but you're gonna be losing a lot of juice if you don't collect it properly. Covered the plums with water and turn on the stove as low as possible, and I'll basically just keep simmering that until the liquid is reduced to about half the original volume, or maybe 2/3. And during this, you can use a knife or a spoon to try to agitate the fruits and separate those stones from the flesh. But it'll happen on its own eventually if you keep it low and let it cook for long enough. It'll take hours easily, depending on how much you have. Then I strain it out using this basket as the right size holes. You can use a colander, but it's a lot more work to really stuff all the pulp through it. So ideally, you have a basket or a strainer of some sort with the holes or the sieve being wide enough to accommodate everything except for the stones. And that'll usually get most of the skins off as well. So you can see the first pot I did is more watery, and as it gets down towards the bottom of the pot, it becomes more pulpy and a little bit more difficult to strain out. It helps to pull out that pulp intermittently and wash the strainer, but I didn't really do much of that. But I'll use the thicker pulp, the fruit leather, and this watery pulp for making jam. And I add sugar, you don't have to, but it makes it taste better. You can also add pectin if you want it to gel up well for you. The watery pulp has been at boiling temperatures, now pouring it into some sterilized jars. This is that thicker pulp, so this is also going to be simmered down and some sugar added, but not necessary. Makes it a little bit better, especially if I have a lot of unripe fruits in there. And for the fruit leather, pour it out into a thin layer on a baking tray, and you put it in the oven. I basically just do it as low as my oven goes. Watch, make sure you don't burn it. You can see there's little seeds in there, there's little stones mixed in, but you just pull those out. Those are inevitable unless you're really thorough. It's really good. At least as good as any fruit leather you can get at a store.